You're an idiot. Yeah, you. What, just because you can take a piss without biting your tongue, you think you're smart? You're not. Sure, maybe compared to other humans, but what makes you think any human is smart? Because we're at the top of the food chain? Pigs can't even cook bacon, so who are you comparing yourself to? We like to convince ourselves that we're some sort of supreme intelligence when we're really just a slightly evolved ape. You know, chimps share 99% of our DNA. What can the smartest chimp do? Basic sign language, maybe throw feces at influencers. Now what can the smartest human do? Put a telescope into space or figure out how to be a male corn star with a 6-inch eggplant? And that's a 1% difference. Imagine species 2%, 4%, 69% different from us. How much smarter would they be? Their simplest ideas would transcend our deepest thoughts. Having a conversation with them would be like teaching Vin Diesel calculus. Like, sorry, the answer is in Cargo's room. What even is intelligence? Isaac Newton had an IQ of 190 and died a virgin. He invented the reflecting telescope, yet still couldn't find pussy with it? Sounds like a dummy to me. So let's relax on calling people geniuses, okay? Kanye West, he's a genius. Really? Giving out high fives to the hitman and he has some sort of advanced brain. Elon Musk, he's a genius, right? Changing the name of one of the most recognized platforms to X. X? Hey, have you seen that video posted on X? Here, let me just type in X video. Oh God, no! How do you even measure intelligence? It's definitely not the SATs. A kid in my high school scored 1580 on his SATs, then overdosed on Valium a few weeks later. You're gonna tell me he's smarter than me? I only scored an 1100. And somehow figured out not to take a fistful of pills. You know, the sad part is most people don't even realize they're stupid. Recently, I was talking to a dude who was heavily into motorcycle riding. I'm asking him what's the fastest he ever gone on a highway, and he's telling me ludicrous numbers, like 170, 175. And he's looking at me like, speed good? And I'm like, no, sped bad. You can't escape idiots either. Every day I drive past storefronts offering psychic readings, where a Haitian woman living next to a laundromat tells you how gullible you are. This crystal has magic powers. Watch as it drains the money out of your wallet. Why would you listen to someone tell you your future when their present is terrible? You're not special for reading cards. You're just special. I can't even turn on the news without losing my mind. Israel, Palestine. How are we going to solve this? Well, maybe we should start with their imaginary friend. God says this land is mine. No, God says this land is mine. Are you serious? God created everything and everyone ever known, yet can't be bothered to show up for 2 seconds like, guys, quit it. Quit it. Maybe if they started accepting reality, they'd blow up a few less hospitals. Oh, a higher power isn't commanding me to do this, and these are innocent people that would suffer. You know what? I think I'm gonna play Minecraft instead. We have internet in these sand countries, right? But these foreigners are so stupid, right? Us Americans, we would never elect someone who's borderline retarded, looks at the sun during an eclipse, keeps classified documents in the bathroom, thinks windmills caused cancer, and yet millions of Americans are ready to get on their knees and take a skull f***ing of another 4 years. Amazing. Like, there are plenty of charismatic, insightful, well-spoken sociopaths out there, and you fell for the used car salesman facing 91 felonies? Jesus. Oh, that must mean I'm a woke liberal snowflake. Wrong. You see, your brain is so simple that it needs an A or B category to put things in so it can understand. You're either a right-wing extremist or a left-wing radical. You're either going to heaven or going to hell. You're either trans or normal. Those are the only options. You see, humans need answers, and if we don't know it, we're sure as shit gonna make it up. Most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it. We just fill in gaps of knowledge with our own interpretation and assumptions. Aliens, they're basically just gray people, except we have balls, so we're better. Afterlife, that's basically just Earth, except you don't gotta buy Red Lobster in order to drive a motorboat. Like, it's okay not to know something. You don't have to make it up. Sometimes I feel like I'm trapped in a pool with a bunch of children who are pretending they know how to swim. Like, do you need help? No. I know what I'm doing. Really? Because you look like Matthew Perry after his 6 Vicodin. RIP. This is why college and any form of higher education should just be free. Oh, but I paid off my student loans. Why should others get a free ride? That's like saying I was bediddled, so therefore others should suffer. Gotta pay your dues, Billy. I get no one wants to pay higher taxes, but you're literally paying for a better society. As your education level goes up, your chances of committing a crime or being racist or getting your first cousin pregnant all decrease. So isn't it in like everyone's best interest to have less stupid people in the world? Because living with a human brain can be tough. We all got to deal with emotion every day. That's why I think it's silly when people say AI will become conscious or sentient. Like, what does that even mean? All you're doing is defining your own intelligence, thinking, oh, this is the pinnacle. Like, bitch, you don't remember what you had for breakfast, get into arguments with people on the internet, and spend most of your money on nicotine. You don't think in a way AI is already smarter than us? I don't see ChatGPT standing outside the bus stop saying, just one more hit. But it's not our fault we can't think clearly. Testosterone and hormones are like our abusive parents. You're over here trying to enjoy your day when they just start beating you. Be angry, be sad. So I get it. We all have irrational thoughts rattling around in our brain noodle. I mean, speaking from experience, I have done some really dumb shit. But at least I know I'm stupid. And that's better than most. Is it okay to get high at church? Hell yeah it is. Moses talked to a burning bush. It's just a translation error to he smoked that good kush. Besides, even if Jesus gets angry, he'll forgive you. That's kind of his thing. So if you're planning to get high at church, you're gonna need a few tips. Tip number 1, do not prank the Lord. And yes, it would be funny to dress up in a devil's costume, sit in the back row and start booing. And the Lord said on the 7th day, "You suck." And it'd be hilarious to put yogurt in your mouth and pretend to have a seizure as soon as you touch holy water. Oh, and who could forget printing out a whole bunch of sexy minion pictures and sneaking them in Bibles before people arrive? Objectively hysterical. But please, do not do any of these without filming it and tagging me in the video. Tip number 2, scoping for tail. Getting high is going to make you quite horny, and it's always better to meet people in real life rather than an app, so what better place than God's crib? Now, you're going to want to find the most religious girl. Sure, you may not have sex before marriage, but there are still 2 more holes in the table. 3 if you believe hard enough. And religious women are pretty easy to seduce. Think about it. They like to be told what to do and not to ask questions. So be brave. Walk up to her in the middle of the sermon and whisper in her ear, "He has risen." Tip number 3, dealing with paranoia. You might get paranoid and start to hear voices, but then again, there's also a person in white robes telling you he is also hearing voices, so take it with a grain of salt. Best way to deal with paranoia is to distract yourself with food. You gotta be discreet about it, okay? Cheetos, popcorn, banana while not breaking eye contact are going to draw too much attention. My recommendation, cheese. Jesus Christ. Tip number 4, accepting the Lord. Sure, some things in the Bible make no sense, like Noah's Ark, 2 of every animal when some animals literally eat other animals. Or why would God give me free will and then make my body attracted to hookers? But it's best not to overthink these things and let the power of God reign upon you. Besides, miracles actually make more sense while high. Like Jesus turning water into wine. Shit, he's just trying to get turned up. Jesus walking into town with a whole bunch of fish. He just got the munchies. Jesus getting resurrected. He's just waking up after getting stoned. Tip number 5, what to do if caught. Never get caught, don't panic. You got a couple of options, okay? Option 1, deflect. If your pastor suspects you of smoking, you can hit them with the, "So you believe that a cosmic Jewish zombie can make you live forever if you symbolically eat his flesh and telepathically tell him that you accept him as your master so he can remove an evil force from your soul that is present in humanity because a rib woman was convinced by a talking snake to eat from a magical tree." Are you sure you're not high? Now, if that doesn't work, you're gonna have to go with option 2, blackmail. If your pastor finds out and threatens to tell your parents, then you're gonna have to play hardball and say he touched you. He'll get real defensive and probably say, "I never touched you, you're too old," or something. But make sure to respond back with the, "He kept saying that I was high on drugs and I didn't know what I saw, but I know what I saw." Then watch as he gets on his knees and prays to you. So those are my tips for getting high. I'm pretty confident they weren't the tips you were expecting, but they're the tips you deserve. And if you're still feeling guilty, just remember God also smokes weed. Either that or angel dust. You know what you want to do. Oh, you want to push that subscribe button. Oh, push the button. Push the button.